So you put stuff in your mouth and somehow it becomes muscles, hormones, brain cells, body fat, and sometimes things that you regret. Welcome to this video. My name is Hassan. I'm a medical student, and in the next couple of minutes, I will give you the nutritional science that actually matters, the things that you were never taught. We're going to be talking about carbs, fats, proteins, what actually makes you fat, and what you should eat. I'm going to be explaining things stupidly simple and very, very fast. There's a timer up there, as you can see, and we are already running out of time. So let's get started. Nutrition is simply your body taking food apart, absorbing the useful pieces, and rebuilding them into you. Let's start with your mouth. Your mouth starts the process by crushing food and mixing it with your saliva. Then your stomach adds acids, enzymes, and muscular churning, turning food into something called chyme. That chyme then enters the small intestine, where most digestion and absorption actually happen. Enzymes from your pancreas break down carbs into sugars, breaks down proteins into amino acids, and fats into smaller components that your body can absorb. And here is the weird part. Until those nutrients cross your intestinal wall, they are technically still outside of your body. Your digestive tract is basically a tunnel running through you. The wall of your small intestine is covered in tiny folds called villi, which massively increase the surface area. More surface means more room to absorb nutrients. Sugar and amino acids enter the blood and travel first to the liver. The liver processes and distributes them. Most dietary fat takes a scenic route through the lymphatic system before entering your bloodstream. So the first rule of nutrition is not you are what you eat, it is you are what you digest, absorb, and actually use. The three macronutrients. So food gives you three major macronutrients: carbs, fats, and protein. So macro simply means that you need them in relatively large amounts. They provide energy, building material, or both. Let's begin with the most controversial nutrient that is loved by some people, hated by other people: carbs. Most digestible carbohydrates are eventually broken down into simple sugars, especially glucose. Your body can burn glucose immediately or store some glucose as glycogen, mainly inside of your liver and muscles. And no, eating rice does not automatically turn the rice into belly fat. Your body can convert carbohydrates into fat, but under ordinary conditions, that usually is not the main road. What commonly happens is actually simpler. When plenty of carbs is available, your body burns more carbs and temporarily burns less fat. If you consistently consume more total energy than you use, more energy remains stored in the body. So carbs are not what's making you fat. Fat is not either what is making you fat. A sustained caloric surplus is what causes your body's energy store to grow. Now the question becomes, why does a sugary drink feel completely different from a bowl of oats when they are both containing carbs? Well, oats, for example, take longer to eat, longer to digest, and are usually more filling. A soft drink delivers sugars quickly and is extremely easy to consume without feeling full. Fiber is the part of plant carbohydrate that your own enzymes cannot completely digest. It adds bulk, helps regulate digestion, and feeds microbes living inside your colon. So yes, eat fiber, it's good for your gut bacteria. Now let's talk about fat, because fat is essential. It forms cell membranes, help produce signaling molecules, protect organs, and allows you to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. Different fats have different structures. The fat with the clearest villain resume is industrial trans fat. It worsens cholesterol patterns. Fortunately, it has now been heavily restricted in many countries. Now let's talk about protein, because protein is the body's construction material. Muscle, enzymes, transport proteins, antibodies, skin, and many signaling molecules all depend on amino acids. Your body uses 20 common amino acids to build protein. 9 are considered essential because adults cannot produce enough of them and must obtain them from food. Unlike glycogen and body fat, there's no dedicated storage tank where its only purpose is to hold protein. However, your body does does maintain a circulating amount of amino acid, and it's constantly breaking down and rebuilding tissue. For gaining or preserving muscle, resistance training is the main signal. Protein supplies the building material. For many people who train, around 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day is a solid target. Protein is also highly filling and has a larger thermic effect than carbs or fat. That means digesting and processing protein costs your body more energy. So if your goal is better body composition, protein is doing several jobs at once. It's very important. Now we need to talk about energy. Carbs provide about 4 calories per gram, protein about 4, and fat provides 9. Inside your cells, energy from food is transferred into ATP. ATP is the immediate energy currency used for muscle contraction, nerve signals, active transport, and nearly everything else that keeps you alive. Your body is constantly switching between different fuels, so after a carb-heavy meal, your insulin usually rises, and it helps you control your blood glucose. It promotes nutrient storage, reduces the release of stored fat. Later between meals, insulin falls and fat availability increases again. This is completely normal physiology, and obviously it's not that simple. There are so many other details and hormones that is included, but because we're running out of time, I have to keep going. Now let's talk about vitamins and minerals, because they do not provide calories, but they are still important. Your metabolism and your body can literally not run without them. Fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K, and they can be stored inside the body. That means that excessively high supplement doses can accumulate and potentially become harmful. Most water-soluble vitamins, including the B vitamins, C vitamins, are stored less extensively. Minerals perform many different jobs. Calcium is very important in teeth and bones. Iron is very important for oxygen transport inside of your red blood cells. Zinc supports enzymes involved in growth, immunity, and tissue repair. Sodium and potassium help create the electrical gradient required for nerves and muscles to work. This was a quick overview. We are running out of time, so let's move on. Let's talk about the gut microbiome. Colon contains a huge community of microorganisms. Collectively, they are called the microbiome of the gut. Some of these microbiome ferment fibers that you cannot digest and produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds can support the cells lining your colon and influence local metabolism and immune function. That is one reason why fiber is so important. Ultra-processed food. So why is modern food so easy to overeat? Many ultra-processed foods combine high energy density, soft texture, rapid eating speed, and intense flavors. In one tightly controlled feeding study, people who were given an ultra-processed diet consumed roughly 500 more calories per day than when they were given a minimally processed diet. And of course, they gained weight. Now, that doesn't mean that every food inside a package is toxic. It means that food design can influence how much you consume, even when you believe that you are freely choosing when to stop. The goal is to make most of your diet harder to accidentally overeat. So, what should you actually eat? Well, first, build most of your meals around minimally processed foods. Vegetable, fruits, whole grains, fish, meat, nuts, whatever fits your diet. Second, include a meaningful protein source in each main meal. Third, eat enough fiber. Fourth, choose mostly unsaturated fats and include omega-3 rich foods. Number 5, adjust carbs and fats around your preferences and activity levels. If you train very hard, carbs are extremely useful. If you prefer eating fewer carbs, that can also work, provided that your diet remains nutritious and sustainable. Number 6, use supplements to fill specific gaps. Do not use them to create the illusion of a functioning lifestyle. And finally, remember that the rule behind almost every successful diet is that you have to be able to keep doing it. You have to find something that is balanced and something that is working for you. That was an overview of nutritional science. It was extremely fast. In reality, it's not that simple. You have people dedicating their lives to studying this, and there are so many other details that we could have talked about today, but we don't have many hours. We only have a couple of minutes. So I hope you like this video and understand a little bit more about how complex the human body is, but most importantly, how fascinating it is. That's it. See you in another video.